What's up, everybody? This is Mico the Entrepreneur, and I am here with another one. I am here with INLA, Inla. This is Inla. This is my little sister. Um, we go way back, and today we're going to be talking about education. This is near and dear to my heart because I am an educator. She is an educator, and we're just going to go over some things. So, before I get started, let me go ahead and do this intro of my affiliate partners. So, Solai Coffee. If you love coffee, uh, you want to have coffee delivered to your house, click on the link below. You want to save 5%. Go ahead and click on that link below to get your coffee delivered. I believe it's free shipping over $30. So solaicoffee.com. Click on the Mico link, you'll save 5%. Also with fansidea.com. If you want to save 10% off of your order, it's always free shipping with them. Click on the link below. It's Mico. You put in Mico 10 in the checkout. So if you want t-shirts, hats, jerseys, of any like sport, or if you wanted to support your brand, check out the link below. Also with StreamYard, if you don't have a StreamYard account and you want to start streaming when you go to do Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, make sure you click on the link below. You'll get a special deal. All right. So let's get started in LA. I just wanted to say that.
Hello.
All right. So before we get started, Emma, do you want to say just a little bit about yourself before we get started?
Well, my name is Inla, and I am a special education teacher. Um, and a little bit about me is, one of my favorite things to do when I come home from a long day of teaching is just to relax. I recently started doing these 5D puzzles. And they're little bitty pieces that you put in together, and it makes a beautiful picture. So I kind of spend my time to unwind doing those things. So just a little bit about me.
Okay. Do you have a 5D puzzle like near you?
No, I don't at the current moment. I usually sit at my dining room table and do the puzzles. So it's downstairs.
Okay. All right. So I know that like me being an educator, I actually did general public as well as special needs. That's great that you do special needs because we need more special needs teachers. We need more general public teachers as well. But can you tell us, like, before you got into education, kind of like where your career was going? Like what like other education you have and what you had to get into education?
Sure. So I started out with my undergrad in criminal justice. My dream was to become a probation or parole officer because I've always wanted to help the youth. And so I decided to do those things. So went to Chicago State University, received my bachelor's degree in criminal justice, uh, worked at a group home for a little bit, and then I went on to Lewis University to obtain my master's degree in criminal justice. While I was there, I transitioned from the group home to a therapeutic day school, which is where I worked at. So I was at the group home for like 3 years, and then I transitioned over to the therapeutic day school where I am currently at right now. I've and so I started out as a paraprofessional at the establishment, and I was a para for three years, before the principal came to me, and we have this grow your own program, and she asked me if I was willing to get into the grow your own program to become a special education teacher. And so I had just literally finished getting my master's in criminal justice, and the next day I started the program for grow your own to become a special education teacher.
Oh,
And
wow.
so at Dominican University, yeah, so I did the accelerated program, which took me 2 years, and I've been in a teaching role ever since. But prior to, just to piggyback a little bit, when I was a paraprofessional, I was there for 3 years, and then the current teacher that we had, she left, so I became a substitute teacher, and
Okay.
then I was in that role, and that's why the principal came to me. She acknowledged that I did a really good job. Um, Felt like that was more of my calling. I also felt like I was being shifted in that direction, and so here I am now.
Okay.
And so I've been a teacher now for in total 9 years. I've been at my
Wow. It's been nine
school.
years.
It's been 9 years. Yes.
Wow. Okay. Now, I I've been a para substitute,
Hmm.
but for me, that job was a little more difficult. For me, I rather be a general public substitute, and it's for many different reasons. And I'm not going to get into the reasons, but I know as a para, you have some people who start out that way, um, and you have in 3 years, like when you stepped into that position, like your first day, and it's not even the school, but just your first day in that classroom, what were you, and just be honest, what were you thinking to yourself? Like, this is my first day as a paraprofessional. This job is
Yeah.
like very, very, very challenging each day.
Mhm.
What were you thinking?
Well, when I first initially got there, because I had been working in the group home with general education students there, and they lived there. They were a ward of the state. So to come to this environment was very welcoming. The students were uh, amazing young students, um, and just watching them and learning, because I had never worked with that population before, and so just really observing, trying to take it all in, trying to um, just watch the other paraprofessionals to get an idea of what I should be doing in that setting. Because nobody really trained me when I got there. It was like they just told me to go to the classroom and kind of watch everyone else to kind of get an idea of what I should be doing,
Okay.
which is not a good thing because if you someone that's new to this population, you definitely need some type of training before
Training.
you are into the classroom. Yeah.
And it's not even training of just being in, like, working with the students, is training of patience, training of listening. Like, it's, if you don't have some of those skills or traits, a person who's trying to uh, get into that type of career, and they never dealt with students, they never dealt with other teachers, or in that environment, it's going to be very challenging for them. So if someone's watching this interview right now, and I know every state, they're looking for paras, they're looking for substitute teachers, they're looking for teachers. What would you tell the person right now watching this video, that if they want to get into education and they start out being a para, what would you tell them now that you have 9 years in being an educator? What would you tell that person right now starting out new?
Starting out new is you have to do your own research to see if this is truly something you want to do. But you have to practice patience and understanding. And the most important thing I feel like a paraprofessional should have is love, just love for everyone in general. And if you have that in your heart, you're willing to help others, you'll make that happen for yourself and for others, because the kids really need us. And I feel like at some point we need them because they teach us things too. And patience is definitely one of the things that you'll learn working with that population. And so just being compassionate and understanding and just taking your time to fully connect with those students on a personal level. And you should connect with all of your students, because I know sometimes the paraprofessionals are assigned to just one kid, but we really should be um, getting to know all the students in the classroom, not just that particular one, and stand with them all the time. You should know all the students and have a rapport with all of them.
I agree. Now, I don't want to paint, well, in general, education is tough. Just being an educator, being a substitute teacher, a para, just a regular teacher in general public. I don't want to paint the teacher. I don't want to paint the picture like, oh, it's so great. You're gonna have a good time. Just have love, patience, this and that. No, like and I'm not trying to paint like a bad picture either, but I want to let people know what they're getting into. Like, it's gonna be some tough decisions that you're gonna have to make. And sometimes when you kind of like tell your supervisor or your team lead or whoever is over you, you have to be able to like keep it real, right? You have to keep it real, and you have to make sure that you're doing everything right, because you don't, cameras are everywhere, right? I know it's some days that, we all be like, I don't want to go to work today. I don't want to deal with this. Tell the audience tell the audience like what was one of your worst days, and then what was one of your best days of being a para.
Well, I mean, it just depends day by day how the kids are. You know, kids are emotional just like we are. They get frustrated just like we do. So you might have a bad day where, and most of the students are nonverbal. Most of them they don't have the social skills or the social cues to give to let you know. They don't know sarcasm, or if you're playing with them, like they don't know those things. So we try to, not do those things. But overall, like, most of the kids, because they can't really properly communicate until we teach them how, their aggression. So, dealing with students who show aggression, you have to try to use proactive strategies in order to prevent those things from escalating. And so some days can be rough, some days can be very rough. And then, some days could be great where everybody's doing well, they're participating in the classroom, and they're doing everything that is being asked of them. So it really just depends on the kids that you have. And sometimes, like, one kid could start the rest. It could be a chain reaction. So if one kid is having a aggression episode, which frighten the other students or get them, because a lot of kids don't like a lot of loud noises and things like that, triggers them, and then they get upset. So it really just depends. But I know for me, and for me now, for the past couple of years, I've had a really good group. We have seen some aggression, but because we have been trying to really implement those proactive strategies, we've seen their behaviors decrease a lot.
Okay. So what is the grade level? Is it like usually still the same, like all the same grade levels are in one class?
It depends. Right
Okay.
now, I have middle school, so I have sixth, seventh, and eighth graders in my classroom.
Okay.
I have a total of 10 students. My classroom can hold up to 12, but we cap it off at 10. And I am self-contained. The the school that I work at, we're self-contained. So we receive all the students from public schools and suburban schools because
Oh, okay.
yes, because our school, we do professional crisis management there, which is, if the kids are experience high volume of aggression, we do restrain students at our school. So
Okay.
they're in the most self-contained place when they come to where I'm at.
Okay. Hmm. Now, you say you have 3 years of being a para. How many years you have of being a substitute?
Probably 2 years.
Okay. So that's a combination of 5 years. So those hours, because I know sometimes when you get into an education program, sometimes they don't allow substitute teaching hours to go towards your work hours. Um, did your 5 years go towards like your work hours for your education program?
Not 5, just when I started as a sub.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Hmm. All right. I know that's a lot of times people they get into it was something that I was trying to do and they didn't allow my substitute teaching hours to count for other hours in a program. So that's why I brought that up. No, that's good to know. So I know every school is different. Um Also I wanted to talk about like just so and some people may not follow this. So para, substitute teaching, and then you're in the program to be an actual teacher. How long did it take you to go through the program to become an official teacher?
Just 2 years, it was an accelerated program. I taught on my as soon as I entered the program, I received a, provisional teaching license.
Okay.
So, it was like I was the teacher. We partnered with this school, so, um, you know, a lot of, uh a lot of help and support was needed, and it was very stressful, because I believe it was quarters, if I'm not mistaken, like, the semesters and stuff went quickly, and so you're trying to balance out your time management dealing with school, and then you have to still teach, still have to write lesson plans, still have to write IEPs. It could be very challenging, but in all actuality, the program was worth it for me. I felt a lot of support from them. The teachers were a little bit more lenient with us. Like if we turned an assignment late, they didn't take that much points off. But overall, it was a good experience.
Okay. Now, can I say the city or you just want to say the state where you are?
Illinois. I'm in Chicago, Illinois.
Okay. I just wanted to I didn't want to
No, it's
say
okay.
the city and then. So, I know people want to know about pay. Your pay is going to be different, and you don't have to disclose what you're making. And we all know across the board, teachers do not get paid. Educators do not get paid what they should, right? Um, on the starting end, if possible, can you kind of tell the audience, um, like as a para, this is for audience. I just want to say this is for Chicago. We're talking about Chicago. So it's different in Atlanta, it's different in Houston, it's different in Orlando. We're talking about Chicago. So if you're watching from Chicago, leave it in the comments below. Let me know if you're an educator. But starting with a para. like what is the salary range for that? Starting as a substitute teacher, what is the salary range for that? And then also once you become an actual teacher for special needs, what is the salary for that? The range.
Okay. Now I can honestly tell you, I really don't know. I haven't been a parent in years, and so what my school typically does, um, they just started a new pay scale, and
Okay.
they're trying to get closer to Chicago public schools, um, because we have a high turnover rate, you
Okay.
know? And so I'm not sure, but so let me just guess. I believe that the pairs are at 19 or $20, something like that.
Okay.
I think because I think for CPS, I think they're like at 22, 21, 22, something like that.
Okay.
Um, Subs could probably make just a couple of dollars more than that. So they probably 24, 25 range. I'm not really
Okay.
sure. And teachers, it really depends on your years, your education background, your years of service. Like they factor all those things in. They also factor in your education. So I think for us, like a starting teacher, I believe it's at 60 starting.
Really? Now
Yes.
for Chicago, that's a little bit different. People
Now for
hear 60.
Chicago Public School, I believe that they're at maybe 61 or 62. It's not that much of a big difference. But it could change because their contract is ending, and so they're trying to request more money.
Okay.
So I know some of those teachers make six figures. It depends. But I'm at a non-for-profit school,
Okay.
so when you're working for non-for-profits, you're not gonna get paid that much money like you would in a big entity as Chicago Public Schools.
Right. Okay. So, you know what's so funny? Chicago always, they go on strike every year. I'm exaggerating, but they go on strike all the time because they want more
Mhm.
money and this and this and this. Are they on strike again?
I believe so because their
I'm
contract
joking,
is
but
no, seriously, but I have some friends, coworkers, well, friends that work at CPS, and yeah, that's the talk. If they don't, if they don't give them what they're asking for, so they have a big union there. So it's all across the board. They
what are
might
they
get more
asking
money.
for now?
It's always more money. Um, they don't really. I don't know if they're asking for more benefits because they get a really good benefit. They get really good pension. So not really
Oh, they
sure.
still have a pension?
Yeah, they always want something
Really?
though. Yeah, they always want. They always want. Want.
Oh my god! And I'm joking, but I'm for real. Like they all strike every year. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. But so anyway, audience, if you're watching this and you're out of Chicago and you like, hey, I'm part of that group, don't be talking about me. Put in the comments below. Let me know. um, so uh I do want to, and I know you're in education now. I do want to, if we can go back and kind of talk about the criminal justice, because
Hmm.
maybe someone watching and they're like, wow, that's my field right now. And I don't know where to start to get into, like, being a probation officer, working in a group home, um, working in the jail. What would you tell the person right now who they haven't even started their degree in criminal justice? What path would you kind of mentor them on, if possible, to let them know, hey, these are the steps you need to take. This is what you want to do. Um, if you're able to, can you kind of tell us about that?
Well, everybody's journey is different, and how you get to where you're going. But just stay the course and stay focused. Reach out to your advisors, especially the advisors that's helping you find your internships is very important where you intern at. Even if just volunteering at some of these boys and girls clubs and things of that nature
Yeah.
can lead you to, you know, figuring out something what you want to do with that. Because one thing about um, criminal justice is if you don't act fast, then
Mhm.
you'll miss out because they do have a cutoff age for certain things like sheriff department, police department. Those have age restrictions on them. And
Do you
so
know what it is?
it used to be 38. I think
Okay.
somebody said they increased it a little bit more now. So I'm not really sure, but it used to be 38. Um, yeah, and that's kind of what I did. I kind of just went with the interns, spoke to them because a lot of your teachers that's teaching criminal justice can kind of help you and guide you in those areas as well. And just researching things that you want to do and how you can get involved with stuff. It depends on where you're trying to go too. So what
Okay.
what initially are you trying to be a police officer? Are you trying to be a probation officer? They will connect you with some of those people that will talk to you and help guide you in that area.
Hmm, okay. Now with the internships though, like is it more like working in the jail internships or you're doing clerical stuff like in an office environment of like a paralegal or a lawyer
Yeah,
office or something like that?
I've never heard of anyone interning in the jail, so I'm
Okay.
not quite sure if they do that. Um, but I know you can intern in the probation officer office, the parole office. You can intern in a lawyer's office. It's just different places. I interned when I did mine at schools. I was a mentor to young adults, adolescents. So I did mine there, and I also did mine at a organization. So it just depends on where I can't remember the name of the organization. I'm sorry, it's been so
No,
long
it's
ago.
okay. It's okay.
So I can't remember. I'm not even sure if they're still there, but I did my internship at those places. I came in kind of late, so I missed my opportunity to do it in a parole or probation office. And so I
Okay.
was stuck with like what they had left. So,
Okay.
because it went fast, because people sign up quickly. So if you want to jump on those things, you got to sign up quickly for those kind of jobs.
Now, are they mostly paid or non-paid internships?
Non-paid,
So
non-paid.
non-paid. So you need to have a job, part-time job, do some Uber, DoorDash, or something, right?
But it could be
Well,
different because you think this was years ago when I did it.
okay.
And so some interns do pay you. They might have stepped it up a little bit because they know you're in college, you're trying to, go to school as well, support yourself. So
Mhm.
hopefully they jumped on the bandwagon of paying their interns.
Oh,
Not really
wow.
sure though. I'm not sure.
Okay. I wonder if that would be a good idea. That would be a good idea if they had work study, for those type of internships,
Hmm.
so they can get that hands-on experience because it's hard out here. Like I think nowadays to get into a master's program and even some doctoral programs or PhD programs, they really want you to have like a lot. Like they really want you to have like maybe 4 or 5 years of this experience. And it's like, well, how can I get that experience if no one would give me a chance? So
Hmm.
I think for some of the employers, if they're able to do like, even if it is non-paid, or pay them a stipend, maybe they can pair up with other entrepreneurs or other small business businesses where they can be able to, give like a small stipend, or some type of financial something, because nowadays, let's just say you just had a kid, you in this program, you got to take the bus. So now you have to figure out how you're going to get your kid to a babysitter or make sure your child is safe. Then you have to get on the bus, take public transportation. And I'm speaking like in general, like what people go through on a daily. Then they got to get to their internship, do the hours for that. Then they got to go to class. And then they have to probably go do what, maybe 3 or 4 hours at a coffee shop or, some other part time job. I just think that it should be more in general, not with just criminal justice or substitute teaching or in education. I think across the board with all many different fields, they should have more internships, whether it's paid or non-paid, but if they have the budget. So take some of your uh operating expenses, take some of that, operations budget, and kind of slide it over. Take some away from marketing and advertising, slide that over into a pile where you can give, even if you pay like for weekly bus passes, you know what I mean? Because it's hard. It's hard. You want to kind of keep these students like in the program. But if you're presenting them with nothing, what can they do? So I guess I think differently. So I probably went off on a whole nother, but no, I mean, it could be, somebody listening like, wow, I'm in that position right now. I gotta take the bus. I gotta try to figure out where my kid gonna go, and I gotta go to work. By the time they come home, they're tired. Then they gotta go and do it all over again. So that's all. I just wish it was more that these companies can give financially to help these students, because college students are broke. I was broke as a college student. If I look at a pack of noodles today, and like to eat a pack of ramen noodles, now it's like I don't have to. I want to eat them. Versus when I was a student, undergrad and grad, I was like, if I eat another pack of noodles, I'm just gonna fall out. You know what I mean? Like, so no, I'm glad that we're having this interview, because I don't want to paint the picture like, oh my gosh, go ahead and be a substitute teacher and do this, and you make sure you do this and get into this and this, or go ahead and be part of the criminal justice team. And no, I like to like stick to the facts and like explain different things, because I just don't want people going into these fields and they're just not ready. They don't have the patience. They don't have the love, because you're gonna need that on the education side. I mean, you're gonna need that on the criminal justice side too, when you in those group homes and you see these kids come up to you and they asking for direction, from you. So it's like, that's all. But I just wanted to kind of like go over that. Um, what else would you like to talk about before we kind of like bring it to the end? This was a good conversation. I'm glad that we actually had this interview. Um, so thank you for sharing this information. And audience, as I mentioned before, if you're watching this and you're in Chicago, or in Illinois, and you're like, hey, I'm a substitute teacher for general public special needs. Oh, I'm in criminal justice, you know, leave a comment. Let us know. Ella, she's gonna go back and look at the questions and comments, and then she'll answer them. And then I might say something if I know what to say. Um, but yeah, make sure you give us that engagement, because we need that. And share this interview with other people, because you don't know who it could help. So I'm glad that we're able to share this information and get the knowledge from the guru over here with criminal justice and education.
Yes. And before I dove into those things, I also went to school to be a paramedic, and I went and got my license and everything, and then I changed my mind and decided, the medical field wasn't for me, and so that's when I ended up going for criminal justice. So I'm kind of like a little bit delved into some things along the way.
And that's
Um,
good. That's good.
but just trying to find um what was good for me,
Okay.
what my calling was for me. So I had to dive into a little bit of things. Some people know right away, some people,
Right.
you think it's this way, and then you get shifted. And so the Lord shifted me right on
Roller
to
coaster.
the education field. So that's what I'm in. And I'm also planning on next year I'm going to go back to school. I'm hoping to get my Type 75, which is a certification to become a principal. And so I will be doing that. So, yeah, so I'm excited about that. Just leadership and everything. So, because I'm the lead teacher right now
Okay.
for the elementary team. So, just trying to come up with ways to better support um, my community.
So now I gotta call you principal in LA. Oh my
Mhm.
God. Boy, I tell you. Nah. Well, we're gonna do it this way. Congratulations, you got it. So when you actually get the paper in your hand, come back to me. I want a second interview. So we can we can go over like, hey, you know what? We said this on what's today? Saturday, August 24th. My day. So I don't know if it's like today or tomorrow because there's so much going on. But um congratulations on being principal Inla Reed. I don't want to say the
Thank you.
whole full name.
Right, don't take my whole government on this live stream chat.
Wow. All right. So any so what okay, this is what I want to ask you. So I know when I was a sub, I didn't buy the snacks, but I know a lot of teachers, they don't have the funding. Either they ask parents to bring in snacks for the whole class, or the teachers will use their money. So how is it with like um, when you bring snacks for the class? Do you like reach out to the parents and say, hey, can you donate snacks for the kids? Or do you bring them or you get them from the school?
So it depends. I never ask parents though to buy snacks for my whole class. I either buy it because my job will reimburse us, but
Okay.
a lot of times I just buy it because that's just what I want to do for my students. I don't really get reimbursed for it. But the main thing that I will ask my parents for is school supplies,
Okay.
crayons, pencils, markers, the pencil case, binders, um, then Lysol wipes, things of that nature. I don't really ask for snacks unless that student is on a strict diet. I have one
Okay.
student who is glucose free, so his mother has to bring in his snacks because I'm not familiar with what he likes to eat in that area. And so she typically sends in snacks for him.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but the school, they'll reimburse you even for school supplies. Like we always get reimbursed. We have like a certain budget, a classroom budget that we get to spend, and then after that, if we spend our own money on some of the items, they'll reimburse us.
Okay. So, everyone, I'm not going to bring up the name of the school, but if you leave a comment or a question below of how you maybe can donate, I brought that up for a reason because all teachers, they need help. they don't get a lot of the funding from the school, and they have to use their own money for their students. So if you want to donate, just leave a comment below. Maybe I can kind of reach out and try to figure out off of YouTube of how you can go to the location and donate to her class. And not just, her class, but maybe to other special need classes, because they all need help. General public too, but special needs in general, they need the most help. So I just wanted to put that out there because in the future with my channel, I'm doing more giveaways, and that's something I'm looking to do. I'm looking to start doing giveaways uh, for teachers. So it's in the works. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna do it. Of course, I'm gonna start here in Orlando and see how it is, but I do want to branch out to my hometown and visit, different teachers and surprise them with snacks or um, school supplies or whatever. So that's in the future. So that's what I'm looking at. Any last words?
Yeah, that'd be nice. Teachers are important, and people should really support us. I know a lot of teachers are feeling underappreciated,
Mhm.
but we appreciate all of us. We do. We have a hard job. We are with these kids Monday through Friday, 8 to 3, sometimes to 4:30. Most of our time is spent with these students and loving on your children. And so, just in return, just try to reciprocate that, because a lot of parents, I know it's hard. I know you're frustrated with things, but we're here to support you. We're not here to, hinder what you're trying to do for yourself, but we're trying to support you in any way that we can. And so, we would just like the same in return. That's it.
Okay. All
That's
right.
it. And don't forget about the special needs kids, because they fall by the wayside. Everybody
Yeah.
focused so much on the gen ed students, but the our students need just as much as the gen ed students need. And so we need to be supported even more, because they cut some of the fundings and stuff for us. And so it's very important that we, acknowledge that, because we have a high percentage of kids that's being diagnosed with autism now. It's at a high rate for little Black kids and Hispanic kids. The numbers are increasing.
Wow.
They don't really know why, but the numbers are increasing. So we need to, you know, just kind of start looking at those things. Because some parents be in denial, and they don't want to believe that they kids have, something wrong with them, so they don't properly get them diagnosed or start services for them. But it starts at 3. If you're noticing your child is not walking, not talking, things of that nature, you need to address it right away. It's not saying that they have autism. Maybe they just
Right.
need a little extra support. You need to get them that support, whatever it is. Start them off,
I
start
agree.
at a young age. Yeah, start at a young age. It's okay. They got to get the help they need so they can be successful in this world that we live in. Because when
Thank
you
you for
gone,
that.
you know,
No,
it's
go
very
ahead and finish. I'm
important.
sorry.
No, I was saying, because when you're not here anymore, you have to think about who's going to care for your child if you're not here to do it. And we all get old, so you have to be mindful of those things. And one thing that we focus on a lot is teaching our students how to live independently. So we want to do that just in case any event that they have to really take care of themselves, they'll be able to do that. For some just
Right.
won't be able to, but the ones that can, that's one of the things that we really focus on at the school.
Okay. Wow, very good information across the board. Thank you. Like
You're
if
welcome.
if someone's watching this video or interview and what you just said, this last part especially, doesn't touch them, I don't know, like their soul is dead. Because I'm over here, and I'm an emotional person, but I'm over here like, oh my gosh. Like this last part, especially what you just said, like touched here. Because it's true. And I don't know if it touched more with me because I've been in those classrooms. I don't know, but thank you for that, because this is going to help someone that's already in the position or looking to get into one of these positions. So I thank you for that. I appreciate it. Okay, so let me go
Thank
ahead.
you.
Let me go ahead and close out and go from there. All right. Thank you guys for watching. If you're watching this right now and you're thinking about being an educator, whether it's a paraprofessional, substitute teacher, or just a regular teacher, or anything in education, please do your research, because every city and state and country is different. The rules are different, the requirements are different. So make sure you do your research. Figure out if this is something you want to do long term, because I get it. We all want like some type of salary, but you have to figure out in general education, especially with um, primary and secondary schools, you're not going to get the pay that you deserve. So you have to do it with love. This is one of those jobs that you have to love it, because if you don't love it, the money is not there. And I'm just keeping it real in general. So make sure you do your research. If you have like teaching hours already, try to figure out how you can transfer some of those hours into different programs that's going to work for you, so it won't be wasted hours. Also, if you're thinking about criminal justice, if that's a field that you're looking to get into, just make sure you do your research for the internships. Try to find something that's paid. Try to find something where they're going to work with your schedule, especially if you're on public transportation, because you have to get there. You have to do the hours. Then you got to work part-time. So make sure you look into that. Also, try to network and be around people, where they can mentor you into your internship, into the field that you're trying to go in. And also be that teachable person. You know, I might have 35 years of experience of networking and customer service and people skills, but I'm still learning stuff each day. So just because I have over 35 years doesn't mean that I know everything, because I don't. So you have to have the attitude that you're teachable. So yeah, I may know this, but somebody else can still teach me, a different way or quicker way or a more interesting way, or, whatever. So just make sure when you come into these different fields, you have to be teachable. You don't know everything, and it's okay to absorb all the knowledge. So, when you're being mentored, you can be the next mentor, so just keep that in mind as well. Also, I know you're probably reading the scroll at the bottom. I do have a customers and drivers movement that I just started like 23 or 24 days ago. So make sure you click on the link. It'll be in the description below for the Patreon channel. It is on that channel. And it's some good, interesting you can read as being a customer, driver, or even a merchant. So make sure you join the movement. Big, successful, epic movement. And it's going to take time. And when you see that, you can say you heard it first right here. Thank you, Inla. I'm glad that we had this conversation. And hopefully, whoever's watching this now or on replay, they can use this and maybe reach out to you with questions, and hopefully you can be able to answer them.
Thank you, Michelle.
See, she called me Michelle because we go way back. This is my little sister. So yeah, she can call me that. Y'all call me Mico. No,
Be
None,
serious.
none of my personalities. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. And I make sure you give us a thumbs up. I forgot about that. I try not to bring that up, but give this video a thumbs up so it can go out to more people and be recommended to other niches. But other than that, thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next interview.